Welcome back. It really is a wonderful night to have a little bit lower energy in the studio as far as rushing guests in and out and having intense film interviews is much fun. And as great of a learning experience as that is, it's nice to be able to have an evening while we're still during Sundance to focus on the music. Many thanks already to Chicago Mike Beck of the Access Film Music Festival to bring to us straight from Colorado, Antonio A. Lopez. Welcome.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. It's so nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. I guess we should start since the costume, the outfit, the dichotomy is very apparent in your appearance. Tell folks about the two sides of you and how that influenced this latest music that you've made.
All right, well, the new album that I have out right now is called The Romantic and the Realist. And you know, this is just a visual representation of that idea. Some people like to think of it as a yin and a yang, you know, a little devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other, you know, feminine, masculine. But you know, there's just all these different balancing energies in life. And this is just kind of a visual representation of that. Some people think I wear it just to get attention, but that's just the second outcome of it, you know.
Sure. Well, I think if you really, really were that focused on attention as opposed to just expressing what you're feeling and saying in your music, then you'd probably have some huge chains and a big clock like
Yeah.
like Flavor Flav. I think that it's a little more to the extreme end.
Yeah.
But we were talking a little bit before we came on camera about kind of your progression as a musician, how you started playing and how you've gotten to this point where it's really the focus for you professionally and making a record, which obviously is a great accomplishment. Tell folks a little bit about that journey from the beginnings of your musical influences through to today.
Well, when I was a young kid, you know, like a lot of other youngsters, I started taking piano lessons. Started when I was in second grade. And one thing that I always remember is I'd show up to my lesson and I'd be playing my song, but I'd always like have like a little intro that I made and a little outro. You know, kind of like be changing up the rhythms and stuff.
Right, you were always writing, in other words,
Yeah,
making
and
it
my
your
teacher
own.
would be like, hey, you play it like this, you know, but I'd always change it up a little bit.
Yeah, that kind of is a classic sort of piano lesson experience of like, hey man, easy with the creativity, man. Just play what's on the page and don't have too much fun with it.
Yeah, but ever since that day, you know, I pretty much ran with it. You know, I played a clarinet in grade school. And, you know, got into middle school and I was like, man, I want to play something cooler, so that's when I picked up the guitar, you know. And since
I
that day,
can
just kind of
completely
ran.
relate. My mom's still upset about it. She thought that I was going to be a great classical pianist, but Jimmy Page changed all that, so I can completely relate. That's funny. So playing a lot these days, or more focused on writing and recording, or where are you at with kind of the different parts of being a musician?
With music, it's kind of one of those endeavors that you kind of have to have one hand here, one foot here, one hand over here, and just kind of
Indeed.
anything you could do almost, you know. And I recently relocated. Now I live in Longmont, which is kind of between Boulder and Fort Collins, and you know, it's just kind of an area where there's a lot of different music happening, and
Really?
starting to meet more musicians in the area, and just kind of
Good.
taking it as it comes, you know. But it's working out great.
Well, I have a question and an observation, and I want to state first and foremost that this is intended as a huge compliment, because I usually don't like to get into the game of what I call sounds like.
Yeah.
Because it's not, it's hard to talk to somebody who's working so hard on their own music and trying to find their own voice to say, oh, well, I'm just going to reduce it to you sound like. But that concept and that feel of fifth grade and the melody of that song, I found myself smiling and thinking of Paul Simon, who I love very much, and I wonder if you've ever heard that before, if he's a big influence, or is it just that's you and it happens to be like a great genius?
I love the music of Paul Simon. I don't know if it's anyone that I've necessarily thought of as an influence, but I mean, I'm just one of those dudes who I have music on 8 hours a day, you know, and I'm just taking it all in. You know, I studied classical guitar in college and also composition in college. And, you know, it's kind of way over here, and being a singer and songwriter is kind of over here. But, you know, I mean, music's a great big family, and everyone's related, so it's
It
kind
is
of
all
fun.
related.
Yeah.
Very cool. Good for you. Tell folks where they can find out more about your music online.
All right, my website is just my name, AntonioLopez.com, and you can find some information on there and get in touch with me there.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to stop talking so we have enough time for 2 more songs.
All right.
And thanks for being with us.
Yeah,
It's great
glad
to
to be
meet
here.
you. Yeah, look forward to more.